What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of What the Game Means to Me. Special edition tonight. We got one of our old coaches, me and Thad's old coaches, and some guys that he coached up that's doing their thing right now in the NCAA college football world. So definitely excited to get into it with them, talk a few things about, Coach Pickett, some of the things he's done for them as young men and as growing wide receivers. So today we call it the wide receiver room. And definitely ready to get into it. But first, got my co-host with me again today. Thaddeus Bell, how you doing today?
What's good, man? It's been a minute since we've been on, but it's about time we start kicking it up. It's football. Campus is around the corner. I say 3 weeks away, and then the NFL season and college will be here in about a month or two. So I'm ready to get back to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I said, before we get into things, we'll drop the video.
Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! We win!
Don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to set it for you real quick. LOB.
Listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Lewis gets it to LeBron for three for the win. Yes! LeBron James at the buzzer.
Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win it!
What was your mindset when you stepped in the batter's box?
Go yard. I'm a pitcher. Why not swing as hard as I can? I got nothing to lose.
It's nothing to man above. Don't put you in situations that you can't handle. Instead of saying, why me? They're saying this is what he want me to do. And, Cleveland! This is for you!
The way we approach the game is the same way we approach life. You do the right thing. You make the right play. Make the right play. And in life, it's the same thing. What do you feel in your heart is the right thing to do? And you do that. It seems so simple, but sometimes the simplest things are the hardest things to do. And I think it's just that.
Welcome to
What?
The game. To me.
All right, bet, and we're back. So without further ado, we're going to introduce some of the guys. Of course, we'll start first with the man himself, Coach Pickett. How you doing, sir? How you doing today?
What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much.
Long time no see.
Exactly.
Glad to be on.
Yes, sir. And then, of course, like I said, some of the young men, he's had an effect on both of our lives. We play different positions, but of course, nonetheless, like I said, some of the guys that he's got to coach up and be around. First, we'll introduce Cole. Cole, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Glad to have you on.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Like I said, of course, the podcast called What the Game Mean to Me. I know a few guys that's been on that's coming up has been around and know kind of what to do. But we know that, so you've been around football all your life. Right now, you go to Fordham, right?
Yeah, Fordham.
Yep, Fordham, play receiver there. So we always love to get when we get new guys on, love to just ask them kind of like what the game means to them. So what does football meant to you in your life?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I fell in love with the game at a young age, and actually now who's on this podcast too, his dad kind of like coached us up when we were younger, and so kind of grew up playing the game. And then I think the better I got, the more I loved it, And so I'm just thankful that I got coached by some great guys, especially Coach Pickett, my receiver coach in high school. He did a huge part of my recruiting process, and I'm able to go to school for free. So I mean, the game means everything to me.
Yes, sir, can't complain about that. Free education. Yeah. Next, we got our guy in the Hill. How you doing today, bro?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Of course. Same thing. Kind of introduce yourself, school you go to, and a little bit about what the game of football means to you.
I'm in the Hill, Niall Perkins. I also go to school with Cole at Fordham University. The game to me, it's been an inside family thing. So pops play football, uncles play football, cousins play football. So that's really driven me to be great. try to surpass them at the game of football. It's given me a lot of opportunities. I'm at a great academic school, following my dreams of playing football and the next level.
Of course. Glad to have you on, man. Next, we got our guy Reese. Reese, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what the game of football means to you.
Yo, from the Hill. I go to Marshall University right now, and the game the game really gave me a goal in life and some great friends to be around, and as Cole said, going to school for free, um, and it's just been great, and I fell in love with it ever since I was young.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then last but not least, we got our guy, pretty familiar face. He's been on 2 times with us. Also went to school with him. Our guy, Will Huzzy, ETSU receiver. How are you doing today, bro?
Good.
Of course. I know you told us before what the game means to you, but kind of just give us a little inside, what football has done for you in your journey.
Football, what it does for me, kept me out of trouble. You know, especially growing up, having my dad's side of the family, in LaGrange, people in trouble a lot over there. So football pretty much kept me out of trouble. And got me all the way up where I'm at now.
Yes, sir. But thank you guys. Definitely, fellas, for being on. Of course, like I said, definitely going to be a fun loaded episode. So we got a bunch of topics that we want to hit on. Of course, kind of like about you guys' journeys, and also a few things on the NCAA, some NFL talk, and then we'll get into some top fives in a little bit later. But first things first, kind of open up the floor for Coach Pickett. Just kind of, I let them introduce themselves. Kind of give a little bit insight what these guys kind of meant to you in your coaching journey. Like what kind of effect have they had on you and your coaching style?
Probably I have to start with Will because he was the first one that I coached, and the longest one that I coached for 4 years. So he pretty much set the bar for everybody. But once I got to Lanier, Cole and Al pretty much were the leaders, and they improved me not only as a coach, but it helped me to become a better man and a better father. Not only were they, my players, but I also look to them as sons because I play an inspirational role in their life. Like, I'm not just here for football. I'm a mentor for them, so they know anytime they need to give a phone call, they need to talk about anything, I'm always here for them.
Yes, sir. So next thing kind of wanted to get into, like I said, we kind of hit on what the game means to you. All you guys play football in the Gwinnett area. You know how tough that is. It used to be called SEC of the South. Kind of biggest thing I guess that y'all seen from translating from playing high school ball and under Coach Pickett, whether you played Lanier or Duluth, and then college ball. What was the difference? Just fast pace, workouts obviously probably was a little bit more difficult. Just tell us a little bit about I guess that transition from playing high school ball over to college. We'll go around the horn. Reese, I'll start with you.
It's kind of hard to compare right now because I'm only like 1 week into college ball, but I say the biggest difference right now I can tell is that in high school it's more like it's more it's like you got your teammates, and then you got your coaches, and then when you it's like there's a difference like when you can get the college ball because my wide receiver coach, first day he texted me the whole playbook, and it was like 100 and some pages, and then when I got to workouts the first day I was pretty much dead, and it was almost terrible, but it was, but it's still a family. That I'll say that's the same thing, but it's definitely the workouts are way more difficult right now. But as I go through my experience, I'm pretty sure I'll have some more stuff to tell the difference of.
Yes, sir. Because I do know you only about, like you said, about a weekend freshman going into his first year. Nahil, I know you and Cole, like I said, go to school together right now, have a few years under your belt. What's the difference been, those first few, I guess these first few years of college ball from high school?
I would say high school, you kind of grew up with the people that surround you. You play with them for about 12, 10 years, who knows what. It's definitely more of a family-oriented thing. Once you get to college, it's a business. Everybody's out there trying to win a spot. Everybody out there trying to play. They're gonna be your friends, but once you step on that field, it's like it's a different story. As far as the games, it's definitely faster. Depending on what stadium you're playing in, depending on who you're going against, you may not be able to hear yourself think with the crowd screaming. You got your guy against ahead of you, he may be 2 times bigger than you. It's definitely a wake-up call. You gotta get yourself right and mentally motivated for that. But I mean, depending on your mentality, it shouldn't be as bad as a transition as you guys usually think.
Yeah, of course, of course. And I know also, before I go on the call, I know you used to play receiver at Lanier, but had to switch sides of the ball. Kind of what was that change like? And, was it something that you wanted? Something, the coaches said like, hey, we're going to put you on this side of the ball. And you kind of just had to, make the adjustments. What was that like?
Growing up, I played both sides of the ball, so it wasn't really that hard of a transition. I was always technically sound at DB. Everybody was telling me if you wanted to play at like the next level, you probably should go to DB. That would be a better suit. But receiver too, I was still nice at that. So I mean, I just went ahead and took on that DB role because they needed me at that spot.
Sir, Cole, kind of what some of the changes that you've had to make, or just the differences that you've seen in your game since getting over to college.
Yeah, so I think definitely like the intensity. It kind of like Friday nights. It was like the hometown comes. It's kind of like let's put on a show. But I feel like in college, I mean, you up at like 6 a.m. You grinding like every day. It's like camps talking about camps coming up. So like I think the intensity is definitely a different level. And also I like just knowing like the coverages and like people disguising coverages. Just the knowledge of the game. I think like you gotta have a bigger knowledge of the game.
For sure. And we'll finish up with Will. Like I said, I know you kind of told us a little bit before, but what was the difference like for you? I know your journey was a little bit different. You kind of talked about maybe some like the struggles and feeling like you maybe should have been play a little bit early, but had a few people in your ear just telling you your time's gonna come. So what's it been like for you? And even like these last few years, I know even some people that we work with on the network, the Blue Bloods, put you as pretty much a receiver to watch out for this year, and you got this conference, a preseason favorite. So what has it been like for you?
I think the biggest difference from high school and college is I could say it's more of a business in college than high school. Cause high school more you just trying to enjoy yourself with your friends for them 4 years. But like as I hit college, pretty much it be turning more into a business, especially with the NIL coming in. Just coming in and like certain players is now signing to certain schools with whoever gonna give them the biggest NIL money now. So I feel like the biggest change to me is to see how from high school to college more taking it as more of a business aspect than just seeing it as a sport aspect.
For sure. Thad, I know you had something that you kind of wanted to ask the guys. Even though just like you played college football, you kind of know, what it takes and the things and the grinds that you got to face. So I know you wanted to open up the floor and ask them a few questions.
Yeah, I just had a question for Cole, Nahil, and Will, because y'all have already had a season or two in college football. Like, if y'all could go back and change one thing, like if you could go back to a freshman, what's one thing you would change that you learned, to this point in your career that you would add to your game that would make you a better player? If you could have, added that to your game or established that early on in your career. I can start with you first, Nahil.
Me personally, probably studying the playbook. You don't want to be out in the game not knowing what the heck you about to do because you will get burnt. Knowing the playbook is definitely one, and then also getting in that weight room. You think you have time, but you really don't. You got to get in that weight room early, as soon as possible to get right because those dudes are definitely big.
Let me go with you next, Cole.
Yeah, so I think like attention to detail. So like for me, like my steps, like I think Jerry Rice was one of them. He didn't even go on vacation for like 2 years, just working on his first step. So I feel like attention to detail, looking how the DB is inside shade, how to attack them there, outside shade, just certain like little things at the beginning. I think that's what I would have focused on more if I knew.
What about you, Will?
Part of my maturity level. I feel like when I first got to college, I'm still thinking stuff is gonna go my way. Like, just coming out of Duluth, being that guy, and then thinking I was gonna be that guy right when I first stepped foot on campus for college football. It was kind of a wake up call. So if I can go back to my freshman and just work on how mature I was back then, I think that would have been a plus to what I am, how mature I am now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Guess these all notes that you can get under your belt, Reese. Like I said, first year in, so definitely take notes from these guys for sure. But Pickett, kind of with you, like I know you said, obviously you've been close with the guys. I know off season, you guys are always out working. I'm always watching y'all and seeing kind of like the work you put in. What's the biggest difference I guess you've seen maybe from their games from when they've stepped foot on college campus and kind of things that they've changed to make themselves better players?
For Colin now, one thing I would definitely say, they definitely put weight on. They did eat in high school, but they've eaten more in college, which is, once you get in college, they put you on a meal plan. So another thing with them, they were very, very high academic kids at Lanier. So that was not an issue for them going in to it. They stay heavy into the books. Even with Will, his academics even improved tremendously when he got to East Tennessee State. So just for them three, basically the maturity level. They matured from when they left high school to go to college. For Reese, that's the biggest thing that I can tell you, man. You just like I told you before, you just gotta. It's all about you now. Like this is truly a business. Like you ain't there. You are there to make friends, but you're not there to make friends. Like it's all about you getting yours and what you're gonna do to elevate your game to the next level.
For sure. And one thing I didn't mention in the beginning, obviously you are a wide receiver coach. You've been a wide receiver coach for the last few years. Now at Northview, but you used to play wide receiver yourself at Delaware State, as a walk on. So kind of, I guess, what are the things that that you've, and it's probably gonna come up next. We'll ask with the Coach Pickett effect, but what are some of the things that your journey in life kind of that you had to get instilled or someone instilled in you that you've been able to pass on to these young men?
For Reese, I mean, and like he's heard before, you got to get in that playbook. If you don't get in that playbook now, like you're gonna be left behind because in college they don't reteach nothing. They go over this that one day, and then the next day they going over something else. So you got to hit that playbook and study it on your own. Anytime you got downtime in your room, be in the playbook. For me, I know because I was a walk on. I stayed up my junior year. Going into my junior year, I stayed up and worked out both summer sessions. And the special teams coordinator, he's seen that in me. So, I mean, if you gotta stay up in summer and do summer school and work out, that's the best advice I can give to you. I know Niall is doing that right now. He did have a knee injury, so he was, he's staying up there taking summer classes and also rehabbing his knee. So he's somewhat ahead of the game right now because he's able to do that. But Cole and Will have both, they've been at least at one of the summer sessions working out, so they know what it's all about. So I mean, now being in college, I learned, there's no point in you coming home and trying to, hang out with your friends and your family. Like, this is truly a business. Like, if this is something that you love, you got to stay up there and grind and put the work in so that the coaches can see that you are about business so that you can get on the field.
Yes, sir. Next, I kind of wanted to ask, like I said, the Coach Pickett effect. Like I said, I wanted to kind of let you, give insight on things that you've been able to teach them. But fellas, if there was like one word or like one skill set that, Coach Pickett may have, instilled in you, what would you say it would be? Reese, I'll start with you.
I definitely say, at Lanier, my sophomore year, coming out as a freshman, I was just say I was more athletic than everybody, and I just used, my athleticism to my that was my game. But then, when I got moved to the varsity, and that next year, Coach Pickett he taught me, how to use technique, what moves to use off the line, the DB's pressing, and definitely on the top of my route on my cuts, basically how to just get open, you know what I'm saying? And I say the technique part of the game, he definitely, started me on, and I was able to build on top of that through my years in high school.
Sir, Nahil, my fault. What's one thing you think Coach Pickett instilled in you? Like I said, whether it be a skill on the field or off the field.
I would definitely say stay driven, stay motivated. In my days of high school, I definitely had a rough up and down patch. Sophomore year, I wasn't playing too much varsity. I played a lot of JV. Going into my junior year, Coach Pickett came. He seen something in me, so he had me rotating that also receiver and DB. I was always in my head because I'm like, I know I can play, but some of the coaches like, oh, he's too little, he's too small. But Coach Pickett was like, yo, don't listen to that. You know what you can do, you know how you can play, and you're going to show out. Senior year came, went ahead and did that, showed out. Coach Pickett helped me out with the offers. He definitely, dude, if it wasn't for Coach Pickett, them offers would probably not have came because Coach Pickett, he be working that phone, boy. I'm telling you, he be working that phone. But staying driven, not letting nobody tell me what I can and can't do, and doing it on my own because I was a small guy, so I went ahead and did what I had to do.
Cole, what you got?
Yeah, so like Coach Pickett said, he's not, most of the time, but now he's not all talk. When he's talking about being like a mentor and stuff, I feel like no matter what it is, home or away, if I got questions, Coach Pickett gonna be there. He got our back, and I think like that trust is built over the years. At first a new coach comes over, you're like, oh, I don't know, like what he's gonna teach me. You don't really trust him, but then I think just over the years, I mean, Coach really backs up whatever he says. So. Just being a mentor, that'd be the one word for him.
Yeah, for sure. So no, me and Thad probably definitely could attest to that. We had a lot of new coaches coming in and out for sure. The 4 years that we was in Duluth. So, Will, what would you say? Like I said, probably he was your first player. You had him on 4 years. So, what's something that Pickett's been able to instill in you?
I say control. Knowing, Duluth we wasn't really a good football team now, but so it's only like probably like 4 of us that actually had a chance to go play college. So he would just tell us, you can't worry about how everybody else is gonna perform. You just got to perform for yourself and see what happens. And for him to put that, to give me that, it got me where I'm at now. So I say control what I can control, played a key role in my life.
Sir. And Thad, like I said, I know you want to kind of ask him too, a little bit of kind of like a fun question.
Yeah. So I say so far in your career, you can include college as well or high school, but like your most memorable or forgettable game, like say you caught the game-winning touchdown to take you out of state or to win the region, or if you played DB, you got burned on a double move or you got mossed with, a couple seconds on the clock, or you gave up a big play to let them get in field goal range to win the game or tie the game to take in the OT. So starting off with you first, Reese, what's your worst moment or most forgettable game you've had in your career so far? You could choose. My fault. You could choose best or worst, whichever one you want to say.
I'm trying to hear both.
It's kind of like it's really like a combined type of thing. Well, Coach Pickett wasn't there, but I'll definitely say my senior year, we were playing Tequila, and everybody over near knows, like, when we play Tequila, we go in with the mindset to win, but we never came up on top. And, we played that game, and it was like, I think it was like 50 to like 7 at like halftime. Like, yeah, we were playing really bad. But that game, I had I think three touchdowns, and then I had 160 yards and 8 catches. And I mean I did good, but it was definitely a game I want to forget. But it was one of my best games I ever played. So,
what about you, Nahil?
Might have to expose myself. Mine's definitely the Final Four game against Lee County. That's something I would love to forget. Will hold you. That was probably one of the first games that I really strictly played nickel, and I was junior year, and I wasn't really a nickel back. Didn't know how to play it. They just threw me out there because they was trying to give me some type of play. And this little freshman receiver, I don't know if he was a freshman or sophomore. I don't know what that dude was like 6'3", 6'4". Shifty as hell, fast too. Broke me down 2-3 times. He broke my ankles 2 times in the same play. I definitely would love to forget that. And then something memorably, this past year we had played at Nebraska. That the stadium was crazy. It was unreal, packed out stadium. It was like 90,000 fans, 95,000 fans. I forgot. You could barely hear yourself on the field. And then Stony Brook, I got my first career interception, collegiate interception. So those 2 games I would definitely remember.
What about you, Cole?
Yeah, so one I would like to forget, probably my junior year is my first start. We were playing Peachtree Ridge, and we call it like a flood concept. First play, drop it. We come back. We like run the ball, come back to the next play. On the same play, open again, dropped it. Like I was so nervous that first game, but so that's probably a forgettable one. Memorable, there's so many. My senior year, I had 3 touchdowns in the first half against Central Gwinnett. The same year, caught the game-winning touchdown to take us to the second round against Mays. And then like now said, we played Nebraska. That's just, you can't really like get over that moment. I wish I could go back. It was and just soak it in one more time.
What about you, Huzzy?
Hittable, probably high school, sophomore, and my senior year, we lost to Meadow Creek.
He said 3 different years.
Gosh, boy.
Them 2 years that's probably the most worst forgettable moments, but most memorable moments so far. I probably just say my sophomore year in college when I against Chattanooga when I ended up on ESPN, because that's something you just dream about growing up, to be on ESPN top 10. So that was a big moment for me.
I forgot, that one-handed catch. Pickett, you can't let you slide without letting us know your forgettable moment, your memorable game. So, what from Delaware State days, if you can remember, what you got? Oh, you done froze up?
Man, then froze.
Yeah, he probably froze. He'll hop back on in a second though. We could probably.
Oh, there you go.
My forgettable one, like Will said, it probably had to be his senior year. We played Meadow Creek. That one I want to put that to never forget. Nah, I just want to throw that one away because it was bad. Memorable one. Probably have to be
got too many to choose from.
Beating Coffee to go to the Final Four. First year in there.
Okay. What about as a player?
As a player, most memorable one would probably have to be my first game that I got in. We played Hampton. I got on kickoff and made 2 tackles that game. And after that, I got named Special Teams Player of the Week and stayed on kickoff and finished the season with 9 tackles and probably was a Special Teams Player of the Year.
You ain't got no forgettable moments?
College, my sophomore year, we went and played Howard, and literally we got off the bus, didn't stretch or anything, and had to go in that game. And if we would have won that game, we would have been MEAC champs, but we wound up losing that one. My other memorable game would be the MEAC championship game in 2007. We were down 28-3 with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and we came back and won. We're down 21-3 with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and we came back and won in overtime, 28-21.
Boy, y'all little Patriots versus Falcons there. And then you said they became the champs, right? I think I remember you saying that. All right. And last one, because I know a few of y'all might have to skate soon. And of course, like I said, appreciate y'all for being on. But definitely wanted to get maybe like those top 3 things that you need as a receiver. Like those top 3 things that you need in your bag, whether it's a move, whether it's like a certain skill set, strong hands, whatever the case may be. 3 things you feel like you need as a receiver. We'll go back. We'll reverse it. We'll start with Huzzy. What you think?
Hands. You can't be receiving. And last one, I'll probably say balance, knowing that you going one-on-one, you're trying to get open while somebody's bumping you while you're running. So I'd say on a big.
Sir, Cole, what you think? Top 3 things that you need as a wide receiver.
Yeah, so I think like route running, being able to get open. I mean, it's pretty hard to catch the ball if you're covered up. And then I think, let's see, hands. You gotta be able to catch the ball with like in those tight windows, especially in college. Like they close up a lot, so having strong hands. And last one, I like catching deep balls, so being able to stack DBs.
Hill, what you got?
I would say feet, having good feet off the ball. Knowing who you're going against, knowing the defense, knowing if I should break down early, if I should keep pushing it, and then probably routes. Yeah, probably routes. Route running.
Finish off with you, Reese. Top 3 things that you feel like you need as a receiver.
I definitely say feet too. You definitely need, good feet in order to get open. I say hands too, and then I probably say like discipline, coachable. Gotta learn from the coaches.
Yes, sir. So definitely gotta learn from the coaches. Like I said, you don't know everything, but that does it. Kind of wanted to get into some hot topics as well. Like I said, some of just the things that's going on, NCAA going on, just NFL world, football in general. I know Huzzy hit on it in the beginning of the show. But just like that, the NIL, NCAA, some of those things obviously that's taken over. It's pretty new, still pretty fresh. But just kind of want to get you guys' insight on it since you guys are, living it right now. Maybe see some, certain teammates, if not you guys as yourselves, some of these deals and maybe, how it's helped, your exposure or, even in a negative way, if you've seen certain guys, hit the transfer portal and, go somewhere else, for a little bit of money. So kind of, what's your thoughts on, first your thoughts on it and then just anything that you've seen that, it's kind of affected, either your team or a player, anything in, that nature. Will, what have you seen? Oh, Will might have froze up too. Oh, you can hear us, Will?
Oh, I see. Pros and cons for small schools for people to get like. Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah, we got you now.
Now a little bit.
Yeah, we got you.
Tweaking.
You might not hear us.
You probably can't hear us. Go ahead, Cole. If you can hear us, Cole, let us know how you feel about the NIL and stuff.
Yeah, so I think NIL is a good thing for us because like I don't know if like the normal person would know, but we are like super busy between like football practices, live, and like school and stuff. So like we don't have time to get like a regular job. So I mean, like if you want to go out for like a chill with your buddies, go out and do something for like a weekend or something, it's kind of hard to get that income. So I think like for all our hard work, I think and like giving back to the university, we bring in like a lot of the revenue. So I think it's good to give back to some of the players. We're putting our players out there week in and week out. But like personally, small schools, not very many people have NIL. So I think it's kind of hard to. I haven't seen it in my with people leaving for NIL deals or not. So personally, I haven't seen it impact a lot of people. But I know some people at bigger schools, and they said that they enjoy it so far.
How you feel, Huzzy, about the NIL and how it's benefited maybe you or some of your teammates?
First off, y'all can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So far, I've seen pros and cons with it. For me, though, I got 3 companies so far. One of them is limited access. They make it's a clothing line. Another one's another clothing line. It's by Posture. I'm wearing it right now. Shout out to my boy Brad Coleman. He used to coach at Ridge, and he hit me up about it. Wanted to sign with him, so I signed a deal with him. RP to him. He just passed away a couple of days ago. I mean, they gave me money in my pockets. I mean, company's been looking out for me, putting money in my pocket with it. That's a pros for me. The cons I've seen with it, I have seen players like leave certain schools because other schools are now like putting NIL deals within their scholarships now. So I mean, you looking at it from your perspective, it's a pro. I mean, you're gonna leave somewhere where they put money in your pockets, and then but on the bad side about it, you're leaving the teammates you came up with and stuff. So it plays up both sides of it the way you look at it to me. But that's just for me though.
How you feel about it, Nihil?
Yeah, same. Coming from small school, we don't really see that much of the NIL action so far yet. But I feel like it has a positive impact on some people because, like what Cole said, there's not that much time to work. You really it's just books and football, 24/7, day in and day out. I do know some friends at bigger schools that do have NIL deals, and it looks like it's helping them out financially. And yeah, I support it.
Reese, how do you feel? I know Mars Hill is D2, but it's one of the better D2 schools. So how do you feel about NIL and how it's benefited maybe some of your teammates?
As I said, I'm like a weekend, so it's kind of,
yeah,
it's kind of hard. I don't really know NIL like that, but I do think it's positive, and I do think it helps out players. So I definitely don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, personally, I'm all for it. Players getting paid. What they do for the university, all the money they bring in, the fans, the money they bring in during the games for winning the championships for the conference or whatever it is or FCS. So I'm all for it. The only thing I don't really like is how it brings bidding wars. Like some kid will commit to Georgia over Alabama just because he gets 100,000 more, when Bama might be a better fit. That's the only thing I have a little bit of a problem with. But I'm good with the players getting their money because I know the sacrifice y'all go through, that y'all about to go through with Cam, where y'all going to have like 6 hours of free time, and that is just to sleep pretty much. So I'm all for the NIL. What about you, Coach Pickett? How do you feel about it?
How
do you feel about it? And I already know you wish that you were playing around this time.
I definitely do wish it was around my time, but I mean, it's beneficial for these athletes. I mean, the time and effort that they give. I mean, just like Niall said, I mean, it's really nothing but books and football. Like, is rarely, especially in season, rarely do you get downtime. Like, it's you waking up at 6 a.m. You going to work, you going to workouts, or you going to practice, and you got film study and all that. So, it's beneficial for them to to get paid for what they do. The con of it, I mean, like all of them said, it's if you get paid, like you said, you can get $100,000 more to go to Alabama over Georgia, or Georgia over Alabama, and one of them might not be the better fit. So it is beneficial, but it does have its cons.
And one more thing before we move on, I want to add, I just feel like, I know that this shouldn't, and it might not be the mindset with y'all. I just feel like some players might start to get complacent and lazy. Like they got $100,000 or $200,000 in their bank account. They don't want to put in that extra work after practice or after 6 a.m. runs or mat drills. They're not going to catch the extra 100 balls and stuff like that. So I just feel like the money can make some people complacent. I know some people have bigger dreams to feed their family for the rest of their life and go to the league, but some guys see that money in their account and they're like, man, I don't really need this. I'm already here. I'm going to school for free. I got girls, I got money, everything I need. So that's the only thing I'm scared about with some of these athletes and the money.
Yeah, I feel that too. I'm on that side because I'm thinking you see a little bit, it's not the same comparison really, but even kids nowadays in basketball, that's why I coach basketball. And you see them going to maybe the G League, or they'll hit overseas for a little bit, and not want to make that extra step and go to to college. Now, obviously, it's a little bit of a change because the NIL deals, but beforehand, it's they're leaving or not leaving, but they're entering too early to where they're not able to develop some of the skill sets that's probably skill sets and business sets and other things that's necessary to develop. Just as young people, they just kind of just going in relying on the athleticism, and like you just said, that it's probably not obviously any of y'all, But that complacency, I think it may set in to where like the skill set and like certain things that they need to work on to reach that higher level, like NFL wise, like I think the product could become a little sloppy, if that makes sense. Like kids just really relying just on pure like, talent, but like at y'all level and beyond, everybody's talented, everybody's fast, everybody can do, just about anything that you guys can do. So that's kind of like the thing I'm scared about as well. But it's definitely like the bidding war. I think that's just gonna mess up a lot of different things. But that kind of segues into like the next thing I kind of wanted to ask y'all about. Obviously it's not affecting any of y'all schools, but like some of these thoughts on these mega conferences that's supposed to be coming to fruition in the next year or two. Obviously UCLA, USC leaving the Pac-12. We have talks of the ACC almost probably going to implode soon as well. So kind of like, what's y'all thoughts on these like mega conferences, and do you feel like it's good good to the game, or good for, obviously, like I said, these Power 5 schools, but even like how does it affect, you feel like, or can affect you guys at schools, conferences, and even kids coming behind you guys, maybe going to Ford or Marshall or ETSU? Nahil, I'll start with you.
I mean, I guess it's like 50-50 kind of. We've seen people in our conferences already leaving FCS to go bump up to the FBS level, because I mean those conferences are losing teams and they need to fill those spots with other teams. So I've seen a couple teams already leave and go to the other schools. Personally, I feel like people, if you go to SCS, you go to ACC, that's probably where the money's at. So those schools are looking as far as television, who's televised more, who's this, who's that. So I mean, I guess they're looking for their best interest.
Cole, what you think?
Yeah, I mean, I see it both ways. If you I think it's gonna bring out a lot more like competitiveness. Iron sharpens iron. So I think we're gonna see some like real good football week in and week out. There'll be less of these games where they pay teams to come and just like whoop up on them. So I think like it's kind of gonna be like more like the NFL. Like week in week out, you gotta be locked in, and you got like it's just you're not gonna have like those foo games. So
yeah.
I mean, I can see it both ways, but at the same time, like, body needs a rest. You may need that week of recovery. So, I know I can see it both ways.
Well, what you feel?
Like Cole said, I mean, it can go both ways. I mean, it's gonna cancel out more of the like just pay to buy teams that will get an easy win, but then at the same time, perfect example, Vandy tried to do the same thing with us, and we end up being Vandy, and they gave us money to beat them. So I mean, I see it both ways as well.
Like I said, Reese, like I said, I know you're new to it, but what you feel like it may have an effect on?
I feel like it's pretty, it makes games more interesting. And I also feel like, it could be a bad thing too with like, other schools, having to like, bump up from FCS to FBS in order to fill those schools that are leaving to go to other conferences. So I feel like it goes both ways too.
Big, what's your thoughts on it?
I think it's gonna hurt college football. And I'll just use all four of them, as examples. Like, so now Cole and Will, they both at the FCS level. So like they like Niall and Cole say, they went and played Nebraska last year. I mean, they that's an opportunity for Ivy League school, to go do that. Like, so if the Big Ten or ACC does implode, like, it's gonna be hard for them to try and find a game. Like for Will, like they going to play Mississippi State this season, so they got to try and fill that void or whatnot. And then for Reese, I mean, he's at a D2 school, so does he have the opportunity to go play at FCS school? Like that's Reese and Will play each other the first game of the season, so I mean that's good for a D2 school. So I think it's gonna hurt football. Me personally, I don't agree with it. Like I know SEC already said they don't want to go no more than 16 teams, so it's gonna be. It ain't gonna be set in stone, but it's not gonna be good for college football if they do it.
Thad, what you thinking?
No, I see it both ways. I like it for the competition. I do think as a Florida State fan, we don't need to go join the SEC because we can't even compete in the ACC right now. So, but like, yeah, the FCS schools, if they combine this stuff, the FCS schools not getting that money game is really going to hurt. For some team just exposure, and some schools just really need that money. Like that 900,000 or 800,000 or even $1 million goes a long way for some of those schools. So I see it both ways, but the mega conferences will bring more competitive, ball, because the ACC has fell off a little bit. And like what is it? The Pac-12 teams joining the Big 12 or the Big 10. I think that's going to be good. But for the lower schools, I think it will hurt. Like
I mean, but yeah, the competitiveness is going to be good. But like you just said, the Florida States, the Clemsons, the Miamis, the North Carolina, football wise, are they going to be able to compete in the SEC week in and week out?
No,
absolutely
not at all. Basketball, maybe yes, but football, it's not going to happen. Now, truthfully, yeah, UCLA and USC are leaving the Pac-12 to come to the Big Ten. But are those boys going to be ready to play in the cold when it's time to go to Iowa and when it's time to go to Michigan or Ohio State? Some of them boys might not be built for that.
No, you're right. And that 12 o'clock kickoff.
They used to that hot atmosphere. So a lot of that plays a factor.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's all about. So that's the main thing I was thinking about. I like to see the jokes and stuff on Twitter, but moving on a little bit to like I said, NFL player. Just kind of had thoughts. I think Will talked about this before, but just certain guys playing sports that they feeling like they could play sports or switch sports that they shouldn't. But news came out Le'Veon's not playing football this year, focusing solely on boxing. I think he has an upcoming match with Adrian Peterson sometime. I think was it next year. So just kind of funny to me. Just thoughts on certain players, or you don't even got to be NFL, but just players feeling like they can kind of like just drop a sport, pick up another one, and start playing. But what y'all think about Le'Veon being a boxer? Dad, what you think? I'll start.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna go real quick and go first. For one, people thinking they could go from football to boxing, it's not sweet. Those people have been boxing for like 10 and 15 years, training their whole lives since they was like 8 years old. So you're gonna get hurt switching over. That's why he's boxing somebody else, though, like AP. But him talking about he's taking a year off of football, it's pretty much nobody signed him. If he had a guaranteed contract, he'd be getting ready for camp right now. And it's kind of sad to see because Le'Veon was on kind of like, in my opinion, the Hall of Fame trajectory when he was with the Steelers, putting up those years of like 1,800 all-purpose yards and stuff, and he was one of the top 3 backs for a while. But ever since that contract dispute and he left and went to the Jets, it's just been downhill. So it's sad to see. But they're going to get paid, and people going to watch. I know I'm going to watch, but it's kind of sad to see it in a way. I don't know, though. But maybe he'll be good at boxing. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think so. Yeah, what you think?
I mean, we've seen it time and time again. We've seen fast NBA players. We've seen NFL players go and try to hop in the ring and think they can do something because I'm athletic, I'm big, and then get their ass knocked out in the first round or second round. Boxing is a different breed, bro. That's endurance, power. I mean, you think street fighting is the same as professional boxing, but it's not. That's 2 different things. But we'll see.
What you got, Reed?
I mean, when I first seen it, I thought it was pretty funny. But now I was saying like, we've seen it before. We've seen like YouTubers thinking they're like Floyd Mayweather, thinking, they can go in the ring and just box whoever, and then they can just be, the great at the sport. But I feel like it's gonna be entertaining. But do I feel like it's a good move for Le'Veon? No, but we'll see.
Cole, what you got?
Nah, yeah, I think it's gonna be good for like entertainment purposes. I don't think it'll be that bad because like we are talking about some of the, like you were saying, like some of the best running backs to come through, at least in my era. So I think like it won't be like just like a hugging match. I feel like they'll at least like bring some entertainment. So I don't know. I guess depending like if you don't think your NFL career is going that well, like you say, kind of after that contract. I mean, instead of sitting on the bench, maybe at least now he gets to do this.
If the money talk.
That's what I'm about to say. I think it's all money purposes because boxer, you just gotta fight one time, and you got you a nice little meal or so in your pocket. But Will, what you thinking?
I'm not too big of a fan on it. I think it's stupid, but then at the same time, you the one whatever you want. It's your body. If you want to do something different, by any means, go for it. But I don't think it's a good move. I think it's just like y'all said, it's just good for purposes.
Coach, we'll finish up with you.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. I just hope he don't get knocked out like Nate did. I mean, so it is.
But he is fair. Has AP had any type of ring experience either?
I mean in that aspect with them two, I mean it'll be entertaining, but I mean like that said, he doing it because he didn't get picked up by nobody. Like I mean, so yeah, he doing it for the money pretty much.
Hey, we saw Frank Gore box, so
I was just about to
I
say
thought he was
Frank
gonna be
Gore.
straight. So
And he lost. Who he lose to? I forgot.
It was bad.
Yeah, Darren Williams.
Oh wow, Jesus.
It was bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought it was funny that he said that. He's almost like to me, like I know not as bad, but like a little AB cousin. Like it's something with that Steelers organization that did something to them because he was trying to rap and he was in some other stuff too. Le'Veon was. So I don't know, just definitely weird characters that they produce over there in Pittsburgh. But kind of finish things off. We'll close out the show with this. Top 5 wide receivers in the game right now. I know Pickett and Will and us, we did overall, or just top 5 favorites in general. But top 5 in the game right now. I know these past few years have kind of been a little bit different. Obviously, Michael Thomas has been out. Diggs, although has always been talented, has kind of burst onto the scene with the trade to Buffalo, and a few other rookies have just come in the league and just wowed us. Wowed us all. So your top 5 receivers in the game right now. Coach Pickett, I'll start with you and work our way down.
I'm gonna go Diggs.
Is it no order or in order?
Nah, no order. I gotta throw Jamar Chase in there.
Ain't 1 year.
Sheesh. Tyreek Hill. Is that 3? I don't know no other 2 right now. You gotta come back to me with that.
On the top 3 right now?
Yeah.
All right. I'll ride with that. I know you're missing a good amount, but I'll hit you next in the hill. What do you think?
I'm in my head right now.
You say D-Hop, bro? No? Okay, I'll say D-Hop. Justin Jefferson went stupid. He went crazy. Jamar Chase, Diggs. And, I mean, I know he got a lot of hate, but you got to throw Coop in there, too.
I like that pick. I like that. Cole, what you think?
You're on mute.
There you go.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I think we're missing a big one right here. Devontae Adams. I got it there. Debo, Cooper Kupp. Now I'm going to go Diggs and Justin Jefferson.
Okay. Will, what you think?
I say Cooper, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. How many is that? Is that 3?
Yeah.
I say Keenan Allen. Ooh. And then for my last one, I'm gonna have to put Amari Cooper in there too. I like his routes.
Oh, what?
I like Amari Cooper routes.
Will always got some surprise answers.
Receiver. No, maybe like 3 years ago. Maybe like 3 years ago, top 5.
Oh man. Definitely Diggs, Devontae Adams. I'll go Tyreek Hill. D-Hop definitely. And then last one, I'll probably go. I mean, just based on this season, I'm about to go Cooper Kupp too. Number 5.
I don't think it's a big thing not to be adding Cooper. I think Cooper been one of the top at least past 2-3 years. But that
I like Jamar Chase, but I'm gonna go Cooper Kupp.
Cooper got to be in there. I'm a Cooper Kupp fan. Maybe that might just be because he be helping me out in fantasy a lot. But who you got?
My 5, I definitely can't do order, but I got Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Diggs, and then 5 it's like 5A and 5B. For now, I'm gonna go Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. But if I had to choose, I'm gonna be honest, I would take Justin Jefferson, even though Chase was better in college. Because Jefferson can play in the slot too. He can play everywhere. He's versatile. He can run any route. He catches everything. He'll go get it. It's tough, but I think I'll take Jefferson over Chase. But I don't know. I think Bro and Chase got that connection. They're gonna be together for a long, long time. So in the long run, he might be better. But that's my 5.
I think Chase gonna be a 1-year hitter.
I don't think you can turn up like that and fall off.
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless he get cocky and go back to Louisiana and start doing some crazy stuff during the offseason, he should be straight.
Right.
Yeah, he was, and that was like he was pulling. There's not really another number one receiver on that team. So he was pulling the best DBs every week and still doing that. So there's no way he falls off that much.
No.
And then, with their receiving core, they kind of, he's obviously the number one, but they kind of deep. They got Higgins, they got Tyler Boyd, who was pretty straight before they came. So I don't know. I think
in my opinion, that's probably one of the top receiving cores in the league.
Yeah, for sure. Top
You
3
can,
at least.
You can do. It's probably going to take a minute to think about it. But I can say you couldn't think of your other 2 pick. You can do top 3 receiving cores in the league.
My other 2, I gotta go Coop and Devontae.
So yeah, you was missing something. You was forgetting him for a second. I say you seem not to agree with some of Will's picks. Why is that?
He's not with Dallas no more. I wasn't a Amari Cooper fan when he was with Dallas because I'm an Eagles fan. So.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But he getting ready to go to with Cleveland now, so we'll see what he do.
That's true. Forgot. I'm surprised you ain't say your boy AJ.
No,
ain't no top
AJ
5.
Brown. Nah, he's not top 5. Nah. I gotta see what he's gonna do this year. He top. I say probably top 15. He's not top 5 though.
Most of y'all ain't put Debo up there. Y'all don't think Debo's top 5?
Debo Samuel.
To be honest,
he not a to me.
He not what?
The way San Francisco use him, he not a legit receiver. They put him all over the field.
Thank you, Coach Pickett.
They move him around. He played running back. He played slide.
It don't matter. Debo is that guy.
No, he's not. If you move him to an offense where he gonna be strictly receiver, then let me see him put the numbers up.
He could do that.
No, Coach.
That's what happens when you play football.
I agree with you. They moving around. He's that best athlete.
He gonna go out and just play strictly receiver.
So if you put him with Cincinnati and take Jamar Chase out, is Debo Samuel gonna be the number 1 guy?
He's still doing what he do. What you mean?
He will not do that. He will not do what Jamar does.
What?
Nah, there's a reason why he don't want to play running back.
And that's Jamar Chase's first year, first of all. So they gonna know how to stick his ass next year. It's not gonna be.
He believe in himself enough.
DB is not gonna be sweet. That's all I'm saying.
If he gonna play strictly receiver next year with San Francisco, let me see him put the numbers up.
And that's why I don't think he would have got paid. San Francisco didn't want to pay him like that either.
Mm-hmm.
If he was trying to switch back to strictly receiver, because he was complaining about all the touches and stuff he was getting. So he's definitely. I can't see him being top 5 as a receiver because when did he break on? Like obviously they use him as a running back and stuff later on in his first year and past that, his second and third year. But before that, I don't think anybody was thinking about him as a top 5 receiver, especially not going into last season.
Yeah, last year or going to last season, they was trying to say Ayuk was going to be the number 1, but I agree with Nahil to an extent as well. Like he a football player. He putting up the numbers in both positions, but that's another thing too. I think Cole might have said it. Like he don't want them touches, at running back because obviously body gonna break down quicker. That's why they ain't gonna give him the money. And San Francisco good for not giving people their money. They on to the next. We see that with the running backs. We see that with some receivers as well. So. But I think I wouldn't say top 5, but he definitely on that cusp. He probably at least going from last year, about 6, 7, in my opinion, for sure. I don't think I can do an order either. I want somebody to do an order, but I think if I had to do my top 5, I think Devontae up there for me right now since
I think also CeeDee Lamb gonna have a breakout year too.
He got the opportunity to, yeah. He does. He does. I ain't gonna put him in top 5 though. I just can't put no Dallas Cowboy in my top 5 if anything.
Nah, not top 5.
Mike Evans and Chris Goodwin, honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions for sure. I don't know. It's just they don't take away from each other, but it's that's definitely top. That's top. That's top 3 receiving cores probably.
Yeah, because they got bro from the Falcons too. Even though the Falcons are trash, they got bro Russell Gage. He's pretty solid.
They still got
Bro,
what's tight end?
who is y'all receiver? We got Christian
We
Kirk.
got Christian Kirk. We
That's
got
the number
Marvin
one
Jones.
receiver.
We got a couple people. Don't worry about us. We'll be straight in a couple of years.
That's a long couple of years. We'll be waiting on that. But again, like I said, appreciate you fellas for coming on. Like I said, hit that hour mark. We're about to wrap it up a little bit. Before we go, we can go around the horn. Maybe like just one goal for this season for yourself or for your team or both. So Reese, I'll start with you. Like you said, been on campus 1 week. Hopefully you enjoying it so far. But one goal that you may have for yourself as a player coming in, then one goal that you hope the team achieves as well.
My one goal is just to start and just outwork. That's it.
Feel that. The Hill, what you got?
Mine personally is to get as healthy as I can possible. So I can be able to start, like what Reese said, get some playing time. I definitely have an opportunity. And then for the team, we have a great opportunity. We have a bunch of returners, bunch of seniors coming back. So to get that Patriot League championship this year will be icing on the cake.
Cole, one goal.
I think step up in that, take that next role, start putting in and get more touches, and then also, like now say, we've been this be last 3 times we played them, we've been up at halftime, and we fold the bag and lose the Patriot League championship. So kind of got that hunger and that drive. So that's what I want to get as a team, whatever it takes to get that.
Will, what you got? One goal for yourself, one goal for the team.
For myself, I want to get 1,000 yards receiving. And then the team, I want to go back-to-back SoCon champs. So those are my main 2 goals right now.
All right. And then pick it, if you could, one even for yourself, one goal for for yourself as a coach, for your new squad, your new school, and then maybe for these guys as well. One goal that you want to see them achieve.
One goal for myself is to get back and have a region wide receiver, all region. A goal for Reese, just to be able to get that college experience and be able to play as many games as he can this upcoming season. For now, like he said, get healthy, be able to get back out on the field and do what he loves. Hearing that he had that injury, that hurt me because he was going into having a great year, So for him to get back out there and do what he loves. For Cole, just continue doing what he's doing and get the reps and be able to possibly get his first touchdown this upcoming year. For Will, I mean, a lot of people know that this could possibly be his final year. So like he said, over 1,000 yards for me. I really want him to get 1,500. Probably get about 130 catches and at least 15 touchdowns, and had the opportunity to continue taking care of his family.
Feel that. Hopefully all these things definitely come true. So we've been keeping an eye on you guys and definitely looking forward to your guys' upcoming season. Checking you guys out and even hopefully having you back on maybe for like a little mid-season check-in, see how you guys doing, how the season's going, and praying for good health and a good year for you all. So definitely appreciate you guys coming on and being a part of this tonight. Dad, you got anything?
Nah, like you said, everything you said I agree with. Appreciate all y'all coming on. Some of y'all came a long way. Will, I've been watching you since freshman year, and then the Hill and Cole. I went to the field a couple of times with y'all when with Zach and I forgot Christian and Jordan. We used to go to the field, picking invited us to the field. So I've seen where you came from, Cole, when you first started, developing into receiver, and the Hill. Your growth is playing both ways. So proud of y'all, and I hope that Reese, you have a good upcoming freshman year and you get that playing valuable experience. So appreciate y'all coming on, and I wish y'all a great 2020 season. Stay healthy.
Of course.
And Coach Pickett, you too as well. Northview. I hope y'all have a successful season and win the region championship. I don't know what are y'all, 5-8?
Yeah, we 5-8.
You should get ahead. You're not confident that y'all going?
We got the 2 top dogs is Cale and Cambridge, and they both returning major numbers. I mean, we were very young last year, so if anything, we could possibly wind up, playing for the third or fourth seed to get into the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's growth right there. Like you said, yeah, Kel's always been a monster. But definitely wishing.
Kel got a whole new coaching staff. The head coach that was at Westlake last year, the new head coach.
Okay, so they going through some changes as well. So like I said, maybe opportunity and growth. But like I said, definitely appreciate everybody for being on. Appreciate everybody that was watching, I was listening in. Definitely make sure you guys follow us at WTG MTM Podcast on Twitter. What the game means to me on Instagram and Facebook as well. And like I said, appreciate you fellas for coming on. Hope you guys have a great season. We'll check in with you guys later, and like I said, hopefully have you on. Other than that, that does it for another episode of What the Game Means to Me, special edition, Wide Receiver Room, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks,